in general, I thought, if you don't look at the number of shots, I would say we played a very good game. When I look up and I see we outshot 40-20 in our own building, I'm trying to figure out how that happened. But it's easy when you get 7 penalties and give up 14 shots on those 7 power plays. And also, up until this evening, we have been winning 65% of our faceoffs. And I'll bet you we lost 70% of our faceoffs tonight. And it seems like every time they want to face off in the attacking zone, they got 2 shots off it, or maybe 3 shots off it before we get the puck out. So if it wasn't for the face-off situation in the power plays, penalty kill situations, I like what we're doing. Puck possession and defending in the initial rush. We didn't, in the first 2 periods, I don't know exactly how many shots they had, but they had 22 shots in the first 2 periods. I think we only gave up 5 total grade A shots. So they were taking a lot of shots, but they weren't taking them where you can score goals from. But they got a lot of shots and got a lot of good opportunities. More to credit, they kept coming hard, and Kieran Milan was, without question, the star of the game for us. He had a terrific night. But I also thought that Trevino's line had a real good night. And somebody that really deserves some special recognition is Ryan Reichel, a guy who came here and didn't play for 2 years. Literally, he got hurt the first day of practice on the ice. He got hurt and was out for the year, his freshman year. And then his sophomore year, he got hurt the second day of working out with Mike Boyle. He never even got on the ice. He was out for the whole year. And all you saw him do was rehab for 2 years. And I was wondering if he'd still remember how to play after not playing for 2 years. I think he's played extremely well. And he's getting a lot of ice time, and now he's tipping in with some offensive too. Ryan Wright of Holy Bacon. We got 2 points from Providence. We had a difficult time doing that last year. So nice to get. We're off to a pretty good start.
This team hasn't made any of their results look easy this year. Every game has been a battle so far, but pretty encouraging. 4th win. 4th win last year was November 24th.
Yeah.
So given there's still a lot of work to be done, but it's pretty encouraging to have this record right now with probably your best hockey ahead of you.
Yeah, we're obviously a young team, and I believe we're in first place in the league. Last year, in January, we were in 10th place. We had a really scramble. We wound up getting back into the 3rd in the playoffs. It was an unbelievable second half for us to do that. So it's nice to get off to a good start again. I like our team's effort. I think winning these games like this is better than players would like to win these games. Maybe my heart would like to win these games. But I think winning these games pays off when you have to. Every single game we've been in, we've won by 1 goal, or we had the 2-2 tie. So it's good for a young team to know they can do that.
It's the first win you haven't failed at some point during the game.
Yeah, didn't know that. It's nice too.
Jeff, were Riker's injuries 2 completely different parts of the body?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a recurring knee
No,
thing?
no. One was a knee, one was a shoulder.
Coach, you talked about struggling with Providence last year. You've seen them over the last 4 or 5 years, obviously. What's changed about them that you've seen?
Well, first of all, we struggled with Providence College for 50 years. It is not unusual for us to be. In fact, the year we won the national tournament, they beat us pretty good up here in January. Bogey's first game. So it's nothing new. I don't know if it's they're not the biggest rival on our schedule, that's for sure. But at the same token, I'm sure we're not their biggest rival. Probably their biggest rival is BC because of the Catholic school stuff. So, they play a certain style over the years, whether it be with Paul Bowie or Lou Emerald or Steve Sterling, or they've always played a certain style. And this time, the style is different than it has been the last couple. This is a much more wide open, come at you, fortunate. Last year was sit back and play in center ice. So we knew that from seeing them play that it was going to be much more aggressive. And I thought we come out of the zone pretty well. Our problem, they had puck possession off of the faceoffs, not off of dump. we broke out of the zone pretty well tonight. I was happy with that. Most of our problems were, as they say, off the face-offs. But in general, and they have a lot more upperclassmen than a lot of teams in this league. You know, they went through some struggles with breaking in some new guys, and now they're going to reap the benefit of that, I think. Although they've got a couple of pretty good freshmen, including Derek Army, who looks just like his father up there.
Coach, your team blocked 28 shots tonight, including 15 in the third period alone. Can you just talk about that?
Well, you get a chance to block shots when they were just teeing it up, especially on the power plays. There wasn't a lot of movement. It was just 2 passes and shoot it, 2 passes and shoot it. So we got a chance to block a lot of shots. I think that's something with our new D-zone coverage. It's something that makes it available to us. They have possession more with our new D-zone coverage, but we have a chance to block shots more because of it, because of where we are in the zone. And that's a good thing for us. We had a lot of block shots, and I also went to look and had 6 great defensive plays that we marked, and you get a paw for a great defensive play. So we had a lot of guys making great back checks and making good reads down low. So from a defensive point of view, even though, as I said, we got 40 shots, we gave them the puck. It was like a jump ball. You guys can have it out, and then we'll see what happens, But we defended pretty well.
Coach, you're now 4-0 in 1-goal games, and then especially tonight with all the shots on the land. Do you feel like there's a difference in him this year from last year?
There's a difference in our entire team from this year to last year. Last year's team was full of themselves, and I'm sure Mohan thought it was going to be pretty easy for him after the year he had his freshman year. He's the first to tell you he feels much better mentally about the way he's coming into this game, into this season. And he's playing the way he did. I think he's playing better than he's ever played, to tell you the truth. He played great his freshman year, had some fabulous games, but I think he's rock solid right now.
Coach, you mentioned that not as many grade A opportunities until maybe the third period. Are the guys seeming to get a better grasp of the zone defense?
Yeah, I think that the purpose of it was to try to. We knew we'd have more time in our zone because of the way it changed, but we also knew we'd have more people to defend in the grade A, so it's paying off that way. That coupled with the fact that we do have a chance to block those shots. But you're not blocking shots from grade A, you're blocking shots from 40 feet, 50 feet. Most of the block shots are from the corners.
Tim, you mentioned that that's something that's sort of part of the game at every level now, all the way up to the pros. Is it is it a pro style of technique to do that, or does it have to be different on this level to block shots?
No, you can block shots more on this level because you have a full face mask on. A lot of guys aren't diving to block shots like that, honestly. I think we should. First of all, I think the face mask has made the game, the full face mask has made the game much more dangerous than it should be. It's a ridiculous thing that we're the only one doing. That's a long history of tripping with that. But disregarding that, the bottom line is we should stop people from diving. You should not be able to leave your feet to play the puck. There used to be a penalty for that, to leave your feet to play the puck. You should not be able to drop to your knees to block shots. You should not be able to dive out to block shots. I think that's, they always talk about how they want to get more offense in the game. They want to get more offense in the game. That would be one way to do it. The other way to do it would be to make the nets bigger.
Coach, speaking of dangerous, you seem pretty upset that the call and that hit on Connolly was only a minor. Can you talk about what you saw there?
I was upset that that call was only a minor.
Coach, when you make your defensive scheme, does it lend to possible cross-ice passes through the crease area? And it appears your team has really clamped down on those passes as well. A lot of guys diving in front of those passes, except for last night, the first goal that UMass scored.
Yeah, that was a power play goal, and our forward just didn't rotate back quick enough. All passes, all plays from the 2 dots back to the goal line, there's more of our guys there now. And the way we used to play before, we played what we call man for man, and our guys were chasing guys in the corners, even if they didn't have the puck. Now we're not doing that. So we have more bodies in that area.
Coach, is Connolly's shoulder all right? I know he came back in the game.
I don't know, he was pretty sore.
And then any update on Cisse?
Cisse's going to be gone for a long time. So we're not sure yet, but there may be another operation in his future.
I think let's just go back to Rika a little bit. What do you see his role being this year? Now
Rika's play more and more and more. He's one of our, 6 defensemen. He gets all kinds of ice time. He kills every penalty, plays every regular shift. The only thing he's not doing is playing the power play. So he gets a lot of ice time for a rookie defenseman.
And last night you talked about how Milan didn't have an eye on 2 of the 3 UMass goals. You think he had a better eye on the puck tonight?
Well, he didn't have. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
We were screening him. We weren't screening him quite as much tonight.
Yeah.
Coach, have you really seen like an adjustment in Riga? You said you were surprised he was still able to remember the game at this point.
I mean that facetiously.
Well, yeah.
It's like getting on a bike too,
Yeah.
But he's much more poised. You think he'd be a little jumpy after not playing. But one of the things that happens when you're in the stands watching, you learn a lot. You really do learn a lot when you're watching the game. And he's a student of the game. He knows he wanted to get better, and he couldn't get better on the ice. So maybe I'll get better by making sure I see what's going on out here and how to play better. And I think that these zone coverage has helped him too.
Any more questions?